Yo, what's up guys? Seb here again for another video. So today we're going to be doing another video in the player progression guide series. This is going to be a 2.5 video, kind of going through everything else you need to really get done before moving on to endgame. So if you haven't watched the rest of the videos in the series, I would go probably watch them because it covers over getting all the way through mid game and a bunch of the early game and getting through your whole quest line and many other things. So for this video, we're mainly going to be covering permanent progression that you can get on your account that will last forever, which is very big things you need to focus on. The reason for this video is because I see a lot of people kind of invest all their money into gear all the time and don't actually work on their permanent progression that is actually much more important. After getting your way through the mid-game video and getting up to 52 tier point dungeons, the next thing you're probably going to be wanting to do is get a mount at this point. And not just any mount, you want at least a 300% speed mount, because any mount above 300% speed has flying. Now, why would you want this? Because you can fly between event bosses, making it much quicker to grind. Especially if you ever get your hands on a 500% speed mount. It literally changes the entire game for you. Do you see a boss die and you want to go in the dungeon? Oh, you know where it is? You could just fly there in 10 seconds and get in there. Anyways, to get things like this, you can either farm them yourself, which is a very rare drop chance, or you can actually use something called the auction house. So this video, you're going to be getting very familiar with the auction house and something called buy crafter. Anyways, let's go ahead and start with the auction house. So to open up the auction house, all you do is /auction open. Once inside, you can see there are many categories that you can look through to look for items, to look for weapons, to look for armor, to look for mounts, to look for pets. So most of the time you're going to see when you look in the mount section that there are 300% speed mounts going for about 200k. Now, to a lot of people starting off new, this does sound like a lot of money, and it is going to take a little bit of a grind to get to, but it is permanent. It is complete permanent progression, whereas the rest of the game isn't. So once you get one of these mounts, you never have to get one again, so it is very big for your account. In general, I'm going to say this right now, you have to really put a lot of goals for yourself in this kind of game. Both short-term and long-term, you need to look at different things in the game and be like, okay, I need to get a 300% speed mount, I need to get a healing pet, I need to get this, and this. Keep doing one goal after another goal after another goal, and then have your bigger term goals be something that you look forward to as well. Anyways, back on topic, the thing you're going to want to do is just grind out a lot of different dungeons and a lot of different bosses to get white bags, to get things to sell, to get stuff you don't need, and slowly make enough to where you can buy this mount. It is one of the biggest things you could do for your account. Now, other than a mount, the next biggest thing that you're going to want to have as a goal is to get a supporter token. Now, the problem with supporter tokens is unlike on the auction house where you can find flying mounts all the time, you don't really ever see them on the auction house. So you're going to have to find something called a buy crafter, which is somebody that you can trade your fame to that is trusted that will also then buy you the token. Now, you can find lots of very trusted people in the community, and at the very least with the token, you can actually put it in a trade window, so it is pretty easy to not get scammed here. Anyways, the token isn't technically permanent, but it lasts 30 whole days, so you should be able to easily grind enough in 30 days, even just 30 minutes a day would be enough to get you a supporter token. But at a certain point, you're going to be making so much more glory because as you progress and get further and further down the line of the progression, you're going to get better and better white bags and better drops that are much more expensive. There are entire drops in this game that go for literally millions of glory that you'll get eventually. Anyways, why would you want the supporter token so bad? It's because it gives you a lot of commands that are very essential. One of the most important is /center. You can do this in any dungeon, and instead of having a nexus all the time, you can just /center to get places, which is extremely helpful, especially when you're event farming. But there's many other different commands you can do too. You can do /shout, so you can tell everybody in every single realm of the game something, like let's say there's a boss and you need more people to go to it. Or helpful commands like /stash or /auction, or many other different things that you can do in the realm instead of having to go to the nexus to do. And then one of the biggest of all is that you get 5 extra auction slots, which helps you make enough glory to be able to actually buy more supporter tokens. Oh, also, if you made it this far in the video, I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway in this video. This giveaway is going to be sponsored by Fusion, aka Hitboxing in-game. Basically, if you comment on this video and you type in the word Yippee, Y-I-P-P-I-E, anywhere in your YouTube comment, you'll be entered into the giveaway to win one flying mount, a 300% speed one. So if you want to see if you win this giveaway, all you have to do is watch my live stream at twitch.tv/cebmofroz on Monday the 7th of October at 4 p.m. Central Time Zone. Alright, let's get back to things. So, now that you've got your supporter token, you've got your flying mount, the last thing you'll want to be really grinding for is a healing pet, and this thing is much more expensive than the rest of the stuff in this video. Healing pets in this are extremely powerful, like extremely powerful. I will say you will eventually want to grind out the 1.4 million fame for the best healing pet in the game. It gives you 15 whole vit practically. AKA 4 healing every 12 seconds is equivalent to 15 vit. That's kind of insane, better than almost any armor in the whole game, or anything that gives you vit. But that one's going to be very expensive. I would go for the 2.5 healing pet or the 3.25 one. They're going to be like somewhere between 400 to 700k. So it is definitely going to be one of your longer goals, that is for sure. But it is 100% worth it. It's just so strong and will carry you so much in late game content. Anyways, once you've gotten all that permanent progression done, you're basically going to want to just get a full UT set at this point. Getting a full UT set for endgame is going to be very helpful and carry you through a lot of things because of just how many extra stats you're going to get. It will be a long grind and take a good amount of time, but it will 100% be worth it. But the other thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to somehow get another character slot or use your second character slot for a softcore character at this point. The endgame in this game is on an entirely different level than the rest of the game. The 52 tier point dungeons and below are nothing compared to the endgame in this. There's a high likelihood that when we get into the endgame videos and get into some of the dungeons, you're probably going to die on your first try or require like anywhere between 10, 15, 20, 50, 100 attempts to be able to get through some of the things. The game in this is very brutal. Do not feel bad if it takes you a month, 2 months, or even 3+ months to get into endgame. The starter in-game videos aren't going to be too bad, such as Shadowlands and Onyx, but once we move on from there, everything starts to become much more difficult. So I would work on this video getting the 3 permanent progression things that you can get, getting yourself an entire regular character with full UT set, and built up a soft core enough to where you can have 60+ tier points. Doesn't really matter the gear because you can just infinitely try. And if you can learn with bad gear on a soft core, then you can 100% be hard carried by your gear in with a regular character. Anyways, I hope this video has helped people learn to set a lot of goals for themselves and to get a lot of permanent progression done on their account. And in the next video, we'll be going over the Shadowlands. It won't be too big of a guide, but once we get to Onyx, expect a very long guide would be my guess. So boys, it's been Seb, it's been nice talking to you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.